It happened at around 5 in the evening 2 days ago, just there on that open bit of pavement. The victim, a young woman, was stabbed with a blade from behind. The precise moment of the stabbing didn't go unnoticed. We have two very reliable witnesses, no less, a fellow and his wife. And the man's one of the most reliable and respected citizens in all of London. There it is.
This is it. The residence of Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
I'm afraid Hurley's out on an errand again today, even though he just arrived from overseas. It's a great pleasure to meet you both. My name is Iris Wilson. I live here together with Hurley. Well, what of your mother and father? Are they dead? Oh no, they're not around. Are the stories of Mr. Sholmes that are published in Rant's magazine? All written by me, yes? On my wonderful and very modern typewriter. But what about the Doctor of Medicine part? Are you telling me it's all a lie? That's all true too. I'm a Doctor of Medicine. Do you happen to know where Mr. Sholmes is at the moment? I expect Hurley is still investigating the scene. Yes, Mr. Natsume? I don't know, silly Japanese names. Hurley said he was going to the man's lodgings. Give Gregsy this from me, would you? If you do that, I'm sure he'll tell you what you want to know. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I am the Story-Driven Gamer, and welcome back to the channel. Or welcome to the channel, if you haven't been here already. I welcome you all the same, and I hope you enjoy the video. So, today we'll be jumping back into the Great Ace Attorney Adventures. And in the last episode, we finished up the first part of the investigation for Case 4. And I shouldn't say not a lot happened. Not a lot, investigating happened in the last episode. We got to explore this little area we're in now, the street, but we didn't get to explore the crime scene itself. Most of the dialogue was just kind of silly dialogue. We talked to Gregson a little bit, and, then we concluded that Sholmes is involved in this case, and we need to, talk to him. So we visited his home. He was not there. We didn't get to see him last episode, but we got to meet Iris Wilson, who was we met briefly in the last chapter, the end of the last chapter. She was the little pink-haired girl who was with Gina Lestrade. So we got to talk to her. She's quite intelligent. She's a doctor of medicine and an inventor. And we got to look around, her and Sholmes' house. And again, just kind of for fluff text and for, just to kind of, get more info on Sholmes and Iris a little bit. She's like 10 years old, we found out. And she seems more capable than Sholmes either way. I think I've been keeping you guys posted on my trophy escapades. And yeah, I think I might have already potentially missed one of the Iris Blackboard scenes. So there's a trophy I talked about at the end of the last episode, which was basically just investigate all the different things on Iris's Blackboard. But I'm not sure, because it said that I needed to inspect the Blackboard again after I talked about the Wilson topic, which I was probably going to investigate anyway again, but the game, forced me out as soon as I was done talking to her, and, brought us here. So hopefully I get a chance to go back and get that. If not, I'll just, on my own time, there's chapter select, so I can go back, probably after I finish this case myself, I'll just jump back in and get it. Anyway, let's continue. So 19th of February, 2:38 p.m., Briar Road. It looks as though the police are still here, carrying on with their investigation. Perfect. So let's find Inspector Gregson as quickly as possible. Yeah, so we didn't do much investigating, so we don't have a ton of evidence. But we did get this. We have the map of the area, but we also have this postcard, which will let us, if we give that to Gregson, he should let us, hopefully investigate the crime scene and maybe answer some questions. Yes. Let's see if he'll take a break from his chips to look at that silver tip Iris gave us for him. I don't think we can tear this guy away from his fish and chips. Okay, is there any point in re-examining anything? I don't think so. Nah, it doesn't look like it. It looks like it's all the same dialogue. I do like how even going from chapter to chapter, section to section, it keeps track of that. Okay, good. So I guess before I do anything... Yeah, see, those are the same topic. So now he's gotta give him this. Inspector Gregson, do you have a moment? I'm sorry to say I don't. I'm a very busy man. Much too busy to talk to a pair of foreign gadabouts, that's for sure. We have these for you. A present from Miss Iris Wilson. What? For me? From her ladyship? Her ladyship? Give that here at once. Come on, hand it over. That's for me. Yes, I know. Don't wait for me to give it to you, will you? Okay, that little ticket holds some weight, apparently. What was that coin exactly? It's a silver crown, obviously, but it's a lot more than that. It's an appearance fee, that's what it is. An appearance fee? Oh, I see, you mean... That's right, for the adventures of Herlock Sholmes. Her ladyship always offers me a little financial reward for featuring me, every time. Oh. That's how she gets them into her stories. Yes, of course, I know all about your exploits, Inspector. I read them avidly. Of course, her using my name without my say-so does make me the butt of a lot of unpleasant jokes, but still. I'm sorry, Inspector, that must be difficult for you. Never you mind that. So, what do you want to know then, eh? Sorry? Tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. I trust that won't be a problem, it says. Well, obviously it's not a problem. Go on, fire away. What do you want to know? Okay. Well, if you wouldn't mind, Inspector. Can I have your autograph? We'd very much like to know the address of Mr. Natsume's lodgings. That's right, we're heading there. Ah, the little knife-wielding mustache Japanese fellow. He lives in a right old hovel, just over there. Look. Oh, it's okay, it's gonna be that bricked-over house. On the first floor of that house on the corner where that wreck of a bicycle is propped up. Is that Natsume's bicycle? That is nearby indeed. If I remember rightly, the landlord is a Mr. John Garadeb. That's a name. I feel like that's... I haven't really been focusing too much on the puns. Oh no. Sorry, my lights just flickered. We are having another storm here. Another, like, it's not as bad as the last one. It's not like a hurricane, but it's raining and thundering outside, so hopefully we don't lose power. That would suck. If you see her again, you make sure you give her ladyship my regards, you hear? Oh, I mean it. You tell her that Gregson sends his very best wishes. Don't worry, Inspector. We will. Goodbye for now, then, and long live her ladyship. Well, at least he told us what we wanted to know before he left. Yes, so then, shall we go and see what we can find at Mr. Natsume's lodging? Yes, new location. Definitely! Huzzah! Okay, still... Oh, okay, now we have new dialogue for the house itself. That's a rather typical old brick building, isn't it? I'm sure it has a long and interesting history. Well, time certainly seems to have taken its toll on the place. It's crooked and sagging all over. In fact, it looks in decidedly worse shape than the other houses around here. According to Inspector Gregson, that's the house where Mr. Natsume has lodgings. Just across the road from where the incident took place, I see. Must be awful for Suzuki-san getting caught up in something like this in a foreign land. I mean, that also explains why he was nearby, like, you know. He just was wrong place at the wrong time, and it was right near his house. Okay, just doing another once-over. I believe we are good. Okay. Let's head on in. Okay, thank you. Mr. Natsume's lodgings. The lodgings of Mr. Suzuki Natsume, according to information gleaned from Inspector Gregson. We still haven't been here yet. I wonder what awaits us. What are we waiting for? Ooh. Okay, it's very homey. I like the fireplace, which was left on. Or left lit, rather. 19th of February, Mr. Natsume's lodgings. Oh gosh. May I help you? Ah, yes. Will this be the residence of Mr. John Garadeb? Indeed it would, sir. And who may I say is calling? My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I am... Mr. Naruhodo is representing Mr. Suzuki Natsume. I believe he takes lodgings here? Oh, well, that smile. She's like, yes, he does. We would very much like to ask him some questions about our client. One moment, please. I shall convey the message to Mr. Garadeb. John Garadeb. I'm trying to think if there's a pun in there. Did you see that, Miss Suzuto? That was a real-life English maid. Yeah, they're not as sexy as they look in anime. As I understand it, anyone of standing in English society employs a number of household staff. But that was the first time I've ever seen one in the flesh. Oh, this day keeps getting better. It certainly feels like we've really arrived now, doesn't it? We've made it, Suzuto. We've made it. We need only to meet a butler and the experience will be complete. Well, I'm not sure if I'd go that far, but I understand the sentiment. You don't understand, Naruhodo. I watched a lot of Black Butler. I want to meet a dreamy butler. Thank you for waiting, Mr. Garadeb. We'll see you now this way. Oh, gosh. Oh, he looks like Count Olaf. Yeah, he had that demeanor. Should I talk to him or investigate? Actually, I have to kind of investigate first. I have to click on him, I guess, but... Can we investigate stuff yet? That uniform looks fairly ancient, doesn't it? It's clearly been well looked after, though. That whole thing? Pah! Not much better than rags, really. Oh. Wore that ceremonial garb at my retirement bash, you know. But I'm not one for dwelling on the past, me. Would have gladly thrown it out, but you know how it is. Anyway, it doesn't hurt to have the odd piece of memorabilia lying around, does it? Oh, I see. Perhaps we should leave the past in the past. Good idea. What else we got? There's a medal. That looks like a Medal of Honor, and it's showcased on a very grand banner. Yes, it's displayed with some pride, I would say, although it bothers me that it's not straight. Yeah, what the heck. What, that whole thing? Sorry? I should be glad to see the back of it, but the general would turn in his grave if I disposed of it. The wall's the best place for it, keeps the bally thing out of my way. Now, it's just been polished to shine by accident, I suppose. There appears to be an inscription on the medal itself, look! Let me see, it says, for distinguished participation? Sounds like the kind of honors even I could be in line for. It's a participation trophy. Well, one doesn't like to blow one's own trumpet, but I was given that for my time in the army. Ew. Can't measure an officer by the number of medals to his name, of course. Common knowledge in military circles. Don't mind me. I'm just mixing my tea with tobacco and saliva. Okay, we got a picture here. Ah, Tim. That portrait of Mr. Garadeb is glaring at me, I swear. Have you noticed that all the little frames contain photographic prints of Mr. Garadeb as well? Yes, and there seems to be a statue of a lion on the mantelpiece as well. I like it. Oh yes, seems to come back from the local pawnbroker with that little trinket. Seems to come back? What do you mean? The chap who owns the place is a bally wizard. Named Gandalf went in to sell him something and came out with that thing. In point of fact, now I think about it, I rather often find myself leaving the place with something I don't need. The lion ornament certainly does seem surplus to requirements. Suzuto-san doesn't pull her punches, or her throws for that matter. I haven't seen you do a Suzuto takedown in a while. Just saying. Just don't do it on me though. Look at that enormous screen! It must have been put there deliberately, surely. Yes, it certainly seems like someone's trying to hide something from view. What could be behind it, I wonder? I'm going to have a very quick look. Just a little peek. Maybe let's not, Miss Susato. I think the maid is going to head us off with a cup of tea. Oh, jeez. Okay. That probably means there is something behind there, though. A purple curtain? This window looks put over by a road where the young woman was attacked. Oh yes, I can make out the policeman on the far side of the road investigating the crime scene. The glass is rather murky, isn't it? You can't see very clearly. Now the question I have is that the side... I think it would be, right? That would be the side of the house that, you know, that was bricked over. So I don't know, maybe not all the windows are bricked over? Or maybe I just have the geography wrong. Does this thing open at all, I wonder? I shouldn't underestimate the bitterness of a London winter, sir. Sorry? As soon as you open that window, the tea will freeze in the pot. No Londoner would go opening windows at dusk in the middle of winter, I assure you. It seems very unlikely that these two would have seen anything of the incident then. Okay. Guess not. There's a table. Oh, look! What a wonderful collection of cakes lined up on that gleaming silver cake stand. Too bad it's out of view. Lined up? It looks more like someone was half demolished them to me. Afternoon tea is a time of indulgence, you know. It is quite the English way. It is Mr. Garadeb's custom to take 2 cakes with his tea. Aha. That sounds delightful. Oh, wait a minute though. There were at least 10 cakes on this cake stand. That's a lot. Well, naturally. And I would never do to waste the leftovers. So, whatever Mr. Garadeb doesn't eat, I say to myself, Joan, you shall have to tidy up. How magnanimous of you. Okay. Oh man, there's more stuff up here. Those look like giant missiles or something. Oh, mortar shells. Are those mortar shells? They're enormous. I hadn't noticed. What are they doing here? Those old things. Couple of little rounds accidentally fired into the barracks during training, you know. Became a bit of a colorful regiment folklore, that incident. You mean you deliberately hunted out the spent shells? Well, I wouldn't say deliberately exactly. They're only scrap iron after all, usually just thrown away, I believe. But you never know when things might come in useful, do you? Useful for what exactly? For destroying my enemies, of course. Yes, well... Joan here did manage to knock one of the baldy things on my foot the other day while she was dusting. Clumsy girl. Oh no! Hadn't shed a tear since 1869. Before then, you know. I cried like a baby. Maybe we consider throwing them away. Yeah, really. What else we got? Okay, let's go for this giant cannon. Seems like there's an apron draped over it. That's a full-size cannon. What's it doing in here? Oh my! It's real! I thought it might be a replica. That whole thing? Bah! That's little more than a toy. Sorry? The army was selling it off when I retired, so I decided to give it a new home. Occasionally, I shoot fireballs out my window. Never know when the enemy might attack next. Jolly useful to have a cannon about the house. Is it? Really? It isn't, you know, overkill? Nonsense. Be prepared, I always say. You never know what this twisted world is going to throw at you next, boy. Boy. Do you think there may be trouble brewing, Mr. Garadeb? Always is. Take Joan here. Never fails to have a clean apron and reserve. Dries them over the barrel, you see? Yes, I did see. They dry very well on the cannon there, Joan tells me. Which rather proves my point, I feel. It's been reduced to a drying rack. No wonder the huge cannon looks like it's hanging its head in shame. Aww. I guess the cannon is retired as well. Okay, got some books here. There's a lot of stuff to investigate. I notice you have a pile of books here, Mr. Garrideb. Do you enjoy reading? Ever experienced a London winter, boy? The nights are long. No better way to pass the time than in front of the fire with a jolly good book. Oh, there's a copy of Rant's magazine here, I see. Are you a fan of Sholmes, too? No doubt Mr. Garrideb enjoys the adventures of Sherlock Sholmes, too. The great detective has a great many followers, it would seem. I mean, is that the only thing that appears in there? It's a magazine, right? So I would assume that there's other publications and stories in there. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? Okay. That might be it on this side of the room. Oh, there's not much over here. I examined the table already. The candelabra. Lumiere. This old candle holder looks a little out of place here, wouldn't you say? I don't know. I think it fits. The ambiance. Yes, you're right. It's clearly supposed to be gold, but it's almost completely black for some reason. Is it? It looks gold to me. That whole thing, yes. Just a cheap piece of ironmongery. Gimcrack, really. Flivity gibbet and whatnot. Oh, they say such funny words. Oh. Used it when I was studying, don't you know? For my commission. I know it's old, hardly worth hanging on to, really. But, well, still has its uses sometimes. Of course. Does everything in this room have some elaborate story behind it? I'm an old man. Stories are what I do. They're memories, Mr. Naruhodo. Memories! Okay, let's examine this shelf. Look at this crockery on display here. It's rather unusual, isn't it? Oh my, a genuine London dresser. Isn't it delightful? Although the shelves seem to be broken and the crockery is... oh dear. It's in pieces. Yeah, I was gonna say, that's out of place, if anything. It really is. The word cracked wouldn't do this chinaware justice. Justice! Ah, I wonder... will I be seeing you, Mr. Potter? Susan, are you okay? Perhaps the cannon was fired at it. Yeah, it's probably something like that. But let's not delve too deeply here. Oh, that would be funny. What's this condom doing on the floor? Oh yes, it was back in 1865. And okay, don't say no more. Say no more. I actually don't know what year it is. Okay, I guess I don't know if I'll examine you first. I guess maybe the one and the same. Good day to you. I know we've been talking for the last 20 minutes. John Garrideb at your service. Pleased to meet you, sir. This is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. He's a defense lawyer. He's pretty bad at it. Do excuse me not getting up. My foot still hurts. Took a shot at the knee a few years back in the Battle of Maiwand, don't you know? Earned a medal for my pains, but had to withdraw from service. Handed over the reins to the up-and-comings. So he's a retired soldier. It's a hell of a job getting up and down stairs now. I can tell you, don't get out much, as you can imagine. Yes, it's quite a climb up here to the second floor, isn't it? I was panting at the top of the stairs. You really must take more exercise, Mr. Naruhodo. We'll work on that later. Do you think so? Well, Mr. Garrideb, no doubt you were very courageous to earn yourself a medal. Oh, it was nothing. The medal was just a folderol, really. Wouldn't like to offend the general, though, so I grudgingly displayed it on the wall. Why don't you fetch it down, Joan? Let these good people see it properly. Oh, yes! Fetch it! Ah! Dash it, old woman! Be careful! Oh, dearie me, I do beg your pardon, sir? Huh, you jolly nearly took the skin off my hands! That was fun. I shall be more careful, sir. So anyway, there you have it. Living the quiet life now. Yes, I see. Why is everyone we meet a bunch of weirdos? Now then, I hear you want to know about the trap lodging downstairs, is that right? Yes, we would be very grateful if you could answer some questions for us. Only two, please, naturally, especially if it helps to keep the peace here in Blighty. We forged an alliance with the Empire of Japan recently, as I'm sure you're aware. Oh, that's right, I kind of forgot about that. whatchamacallit, peace treaty or whatever, alliance. So this case is very much in the public eye, as it were. Oh, is it? Even had some famous detective poking around, you know? In this old house, would you believe? Oh yeah, it's kind of like the inverse of the tutorial case, where we had a British woman, well, I guess she wasn't accused. We found out that it was her later on, as part of the proceedings. But, she was involved in Japan, and now we have a Japanese person involved in England. Cool. Yes, Mr. Sherlock Sholmes. Huh. Could have been. Didn't catch the chap's name. Not really my cup of tea, all that detective business. Oh, but you have a copy of Rant's magazine here, so... No, don't look at that. Anyway, the chap's investigating the foreigner's room as we speak. So, he's in Sozuki-san's room. It's a bally nuisance is what it is. The whole neighborhood's twitching its curtains now. I don't like all this fuss. It's jolly unsettling. Okay, let's talk about Mr. Natsume. About Mr. Natsume then, Mr. Garrett. Please do tell us. Oh yes, the Japanese chap. Only been lodging here for a week. Oh, just 1 week? So I moved in very recently then. I have 2 lodgers most of the time, one on the ground floor and one just below us. The first floor room became available a week ago, you see, they've been... flippity flappity blah blah blah. That's it all, Joan. Do be careful. Damn it. No. Oh my goodness, I'm terribly sorry, sir. If you want to know my opinion... We don't. I thought he was a shady sort from the moment I set eyes on him. Oh? Why? He seemed to have a most nervous disposition, always shaking and looking over his shoulder. The man had shady written across his sweat-choked brow, if you ask me. Look at my cheeks, they like wiggle. I said to myself, June, that man is trouble. Sooner or later he's going to do something untoward. And I'm rarely wrong about anything. Right. We won't be calling this maid as a witness, that's for sure. Little bias there. Was there anything else that struck you as suspicious about the man at all? Oh, what else? Yes, oh yes, indeed there was. And she's dying to tell us. The shady lodger, let's hear it. Have you noticed anything else at all about your lodger, Mr. Natsume? Oh, sorry, we're talking about Mr. Natsume. Oh my word, yes, the man was shadier than an orchard. Could you elaborate? Well, take the man's room, absolutely stuffed full of books it is, more than anyone could ever read. And he never so much as passes the time of day with another living soul. I haven't seen a single visitor call. He just trots off to that old bookshop every single day, and comes back at 5 to light the gas fire. Okay, we're gonna visit the bookshop? And the funny little man is up long past the time everyone else in the house has gone to bed too. Hey, I do that too. I stay up till like 3 in the morning, so you know. Oh, I see. The gentleman on the ground floor goes to bed at around 9 each night. But I've never known that Japanese fellow to retire any earlier than 2 in the morning. Ha! 2. That's cute. Ah. Could you clarify something, I wonder? What the balls is your problem? What, pray? How do you know so much about Mr. Natsume's routine? Oh! I kinda have the hots for him. I don't understand that neither of the lodgers live on this floor in the house. Is that correct? That's right, yes. They're both below us. On the first floor and street level. I always thought the first floor was considered street level. But maybe it's different in England, or I don't know. Then how is it that you know so much about the lives of your lodgers? The precise times that they come back in the evening, for example? even the times they go to bed? That is a good question, Susato. Oh. Good grief, Joan! Be more careful, woman! Oh my goodness, sir! I'm terribly sorry, sir! Without a distraction, something doesn't add up here. They're definitely spying on him. Okay, let's talk about the incident 2 days ago. It seems that the incident took place at around 5 in the evening. Did you happen to look out of the window at around that time? The window? Yes, we noticed that the window over there looks out over Briar Road. The incident took place on the pavement just on the far side of the street. Was there anyone suspicious loitering around nearby? You probably wasn't paying attention. 5 o'clock is dinner time in the Garadeb household. So I'm afraid I don't remember seeing anything. How about you, Joan? No, sir. It would have been dusk outside already at that hour. And with the fog as well, I should think it would have been quite impossible to see the other side of the road. Oh, I see. Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary then? Such as? Anything at all, even if it seems unrelated. I do wonder though about the bricked over, maybe the lower floors, like maybe the first floor and the ground floor were bricked over so you couldn't see. I'm wondering, I feel like that's gotta be relevant. Like that's such a weird detail, like that the windows are bricked over. Maybe he's gonna try and maybe he's gonna have seen something and he's gonna try and say like, oh, it was Natsume or one of the other resident on the first floor. He saw something out the window and I don't know. Or maybe he killed her out from the window or something. They're gonna be like, no, they're bricked over. They couldn't do that. I don't know. Just spitballing random ideas. Well, yes? Was there something then? Well, it's nothing particularly significant, but around that sort of time and damn it! For the love of God, Joan, watch what you're doing! Oh dearie me, what have I done? I'm awfully sorry, sir! Do be more careful, woman! What is this, like the 8th time? Of course, sir. If I may, Mr. Narrow Hollow. Oh, yes? Just go ahead. I have an exceedingly good memory, and as far as I remember, nothing of any significance took place here at that hour. Nothing at all. Oh, really? Mr. Garadeb? The way you were talking before, it sounded rather like there might have been. Oh, well, as I was saying, it was just a trifling matter, really. Nothing of... Joan, dash it all! What is the matter with you, woman? Begging your pardon, sir. Nothing happened. Yes, quite. Nothing happened. We sat down to a quiet, uneventful meal, Joan? Okay, I think these little tea interruptions are more than just, you know, a silly little gag. I think like when he's about to say too much or something, she's like, whoopsies, to distract him or to, get him off topic. So either they're both hiding something, or that's what it seems like. It seems like they're both definitely hiding something. Or it could be that even she knows something he doesn't. I don't know. That's right, Mr. Garadeb. What is the matter with these two? They're a bunch of wackos. It sounds like something happened here in this room on the evening of the incident. But what? I wish I knew. Okay, let's talk about Mr. Natsume's room. Could you tell us which floor Mr. Natsume's room is on? Why, certainly. Just below us on the first floor. And Mr. Sholmes is investigating there, even as we speak? Yes. Told me not his name, had asked him to look into the matter, so I gave him the key. Come on, guys, it's not that hard of a name to pronounce. Mr. Natsume has engaged Mr. Sholmes' services. That's a blatant lie. Yeah, I don't think so. But it'd be alright if we also had a look around in Mr. Natsume's room, I mean. Don't see why not. It's just down one flight of stairs. Who knows if we'll find anything that could help us with the case, but we have to try. We need all the clues we can lay our hands on, shall we? Yes, and while we're there, we can speak with Mr. Sholmes again. Perhaps he'll be able to tell us more. Yes, we haven't seen him in a while. Okay. A new location has been... See, this is what I'm talking about now. This is more like a traditional Phoenix Wright investigation with like tons of different areas and rooms and stuff. Okay. A small dark room rented by a visiting scholar from the Empire of Japan by the name of Suzuki Natsume. We still haven't been here yet. I wonder what awaits us. Let's go and find out. Ooh, okay. Lots of books. Very cluttered. Ooh, a kitty. 19th of February, Mr. Natsume's room. What? Just look at this place. And smell it. It's so musty in here. Musty old books. I suppose it's the mountains of old books that are responsible for that. I don't think I've ever seen so many books in all my life. No, me neither. It's so dark in here, too. Oh, there we go. Bricked over window. Is that the window over there? Well, it was the window, I think, yes. Once upon a time. But for some reason, it's been closed up with bricks and mortar. Yeah, I wonder why that is. Is he a prisoner? So this is where Mr. Natsume lives. By the way, I haven't spotted Mr. Sholmes anywhere. Have you? Yeah, I was wondering that. No, that's true, but according to what Mr. Garrett told us, the great detective should be around here somewhere investigating. But he's not. Okay. What to examine first? I almost want to save the kitty. We'll examine this kitty first. Oh look! It's a beckoning cat from home! It's a bit big and bulky, isn't it? Surely Mr. Natsume didn't bring that Maneki Neko all the way from Japan with him. Where else would he have gotten it? I hardly think you're in a position to comment, Mr. Naruhodo. Are you forgetting the enormous Daruma doll that you brought in your luggage? Well, it can be dangerous traveling abroad. I wanted a lucky charm. Don't judge me. Well, I imagine Mr. Natsume wanted the same, and this cat is sure to beckon good luck to him. Yeah. How's that working out for him? It's not doing a very good job so far, is it? You mustn't say such things. I didn't say a word. Oh yeah, that was my thoughts. Why are my eyes such a giveaway? Dang it. I'm watching you, Naruhodo. Always watching. Okay, what else? I guess the books are a good place to start. Look at all those books stacked up there. They almost reached the ceiling. They're all works of English literature, and they all smell so musty. That's right, a lot of these are probably for studying. With this volume of books to hand, you'd never be short of reading material, would you? No, what a dreamy idea. So dreamy. A bad dream, maybe, for me at least. Mind you, I don't imagine the book that's at the bottom of the pile now will ever be read again. Ah, so reading it is an experience that comes but once in a lifetime, just as the tea ceremony teaches us. I certainly didn't expect the conversation to turn down the path of tea ceremony philosophy. But here we are. Okay, I guess the window. Could you even call this a window? Definitely looks like it was one. I think so. It was a window at one time, after all. Although all that remains is a frame around some bricks now. So really, it's just a wall then, isn't it? Why would anyone deliberately brick it up like that? I'm afraid I have no idea. Ah! Perhaps Mr. Natsume painted the brick design on in a fit of whimsy. He's such a kidder. That's alarmingly feasible. He would do that. Anyway, whatever the reason, the lack of ventilation in here makes the place very oppressive. It does. I imagine being cooped up in a room like this would be extremely trying. Oh man. Yeah, it's dark. No sunlight. But maybe he likes it that way. Maybe he can study better that way. Anything else before I examine Kitty over there? Oh wait, we can turn this way. Except I don't see anything else this way. That does seem to be wedged into a crevice between the mountains of books on either side. I suppose Mr. Natsume would sit there and read while stroking his cat. But surrounded on all sides by these towering old tomes, surely he dreamt of books every night as well. Yes, he must have done, mustn't he? He must love his books. Oh, what's this? It's a receipt from a second-hand bookshop. Your books. Did you guys hear that? That was loud. That was a loud thunder clap. So I apologize if there's thunder in the recording. Hopefully not too much of it. Oh yes, Mr. Natsume's name is on it. Look. And the date of purchase? 2 days ago at 4:45 p.m. That's the day of the incident. That's just a short while before he was embroiled in the terrible attack. Interesting. He must have been on his way back from buying some old books. Okay, so there we go. A receipt discovered in Mr. Natsume's room for some books that he had purchased from a second-hand bookshop before the incident occurred. So I wonder if maybe he was on his way back. Maybe that's where he was. Maybe he bought the books or whatever and was on his way back, and that's when the incident with the woman happened, and then he ran back home. Okay, I think all that's left is the kitty. Meow. Aww, animated and where you going? Kitty, come back! Oh my, what an adorable little cat! I want to keep it! Perhaps he's looking after all the books while his master is away. I don't know about that. He disappeared into that pile of books as quick as a flash. That's where he was taking care of the cat. It was a tricolor Mike, wasn't it? Did they even have that sort of cat? Oh wait, that's me talking. It was a tricolor Mike, wasn't it? Did they even have that sort of cat here in Great Britain? I don't know if you actually pronounce that Mike, or is it like Mike? I don't know. Perhaps Mr. Natsume brought the little creature with him from Japan. That's made me feel homesick now. Already? We've only been in the country for 2 days. Wow, that's crazy to think about. It does not feel like only 2 days. Okay, so... Oh. I didn't see this before. This appears to be some sort of meter on the wall here. It looks very robust. Is it blocked by the books? I wonder what it's for. There's a slot for inserting coins here, too. I don't know what that is. I believe that is a gas meter, Mr. Naruhodo. A gas meter? Yes, it seems there's piped gas in this district, which consumers pay for by putting coins in the meter. So, if we were to put a coin in the slot... Smack! That would be enough to use the lights and the gas fire for the whole night. So if you two were to have a coin, you have to spend the night in the dark and freezing cold? That's right. As would a rich man who only carried crisp white notes. London is a scary place. Could that be why the windows are like bricked over, like because like they can't get like light from the outside, so it kind of like forces them to. Well, not, I mean, I guess he's getting by. It looks like he's using candles and stuff, but somebody might, if they can't get sunlight, even open the window for like air or whatever, then they might need to use that. Okay, I almost missed that. Is there anything else? Oh, what's this now? Look at all these balls of paper on the floor. There are notes scrawled all over them. In English. I guess he's studying. Looks like the waste paper basket is so full they've just fallen out. I think Mr. Natsume must have been deeply immersed in his research, don't you? Or deeply averse to tidying up his mess. That too. I wouldn't like to speculate which is closer to the truth. You know, Suzuto. And I know. We both know. We know the truth. Okay. Anything else I'm missing? Anything at all? Oh, Jesus! Don't know why that scared me, but okay. Hey there. How's it going? Look, Mr. Naruhodo! He's finally appeared. Aha, there he is. Where did he appear from? He was hiding under the pile, waiting for the right moment to come out. He seems to be engrossed in the pages of an old book. I hope you won't mind if we disturb him. Hello, Mr. Sholmes! I haven't voiced him in a while. Ah, you two! Good day! Now, let me see. Where was it that we met? Oh, Mr. Sholmes, we were together on the SS Buria. Don't you remember? Wasn't that long ago? Yes, of course, the Buria. And let me see. What happened on that voyage? It was Kazuma Sogi. He died, tragically. But you were a great help to us. That's debatable. Ah, yes, but of course, the case of Mr. Sogi. It was the one with the snake, wasn't it? Oh. Well, you seem to remember something of it at least. The snake really had nothing to do with it, but we'll just roll with it. What an honor to be remembered vaguely by the great Herlock Sholmes. This is Mr. Oh, no, my dear madam. Hold your tongue. I pride myself on my superior powers of recollection. Your names are safely recorded in my brain attic. Okay, let's hear it then. Miss Naruhodo. And Mr. Susato. Well, you know what? Still not bad. At least he was able to remember the names themselves. Try the other way around, Mr. Sholmes. Oh, ha 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 ha. I lose the first round. Oh. Seriously, what are your names again? In truth, I had hoped to invite you both to my Baker Street suite the day we arrived in London. But some Scotland Yarder sandwiched me at the railway station and whisked me away to a crime scene. It was an entire trivial case, of course. I solved the matter in no more than 30 minutes. So they apprehended Suzuki-san in that short an amount of time. Yeah, really. I say 30 minutes? I'm afraid the pursuance of a new case has dulled my recollection of my past involvements a little. A little? Try a lot. It is a mistake to think that one's brain attic has elastic walls that can distend to any extent. I do my best to forget useless facts lest they should elbow at the useful ones. Yes, those are my own words of inimitable wisdom, you know, for an adventure titled A Study in Scarlet. Please, there's no need to quote yourself. I don't always remember my pearls of wisdom, but fortunately my associate pens them beautifully. He means Iris, I suppose. Mr. Sholmes, we have some extremely important questions to ask you about the trivial case you just mentioned. Goodness, what an earnest expression! My dear madam, I should be only too pleased, and this murky room is an apt place to discuss the murky case. That's not what I meant to do. Mr. Naruhodo, please! Despite aspersions to the contrary, I am a professional. If I'm to unleash my deductive powers on that trinket, I must ask for a sum of £3 in cash. Oh, I don't need you to make any deductions about it. I was just wondering if you might know. Mr. Naruhodo, as a professional, I insist that if I am to offer my opinion on that trinket, I must ask for a sum of £3 in cash. I believe Mr. Sholmes has his eye on an expensive copy of The Complete Works of Shakespeare. Yes, to stand on the stage amid rapturous applause. It has long been a dream of mine, as you know. I literally had no idea. None of that had anything to do with my armband. No one likes it. Do you have anything to say about our map? Have you seen this, Mr. Sholmes? Shh. I must have silence. It is of the first importance when I am in the throes of deduction that nothing of relevant distracts me. Oh, sorry. Cloudy changing to fair, perhaps? You were in the throes of deducing the weather? Okay, that was different dialogue than when I presented that. Okay. Okay, a receipt. Okay, what about this? Ah, the receipt for the books our astute Japanese friend purchased. I uncovered that yesterday morning. A marvelous find, wouldn't you agree? Oh yes, the work of a truly great detective. What a scatterbrained individual he must be to have left it behind. Curiously, there is no mention of this publication on the receipt. Odd when you consider how fascinating it is. You mean not everyone in London buys Rance magazine every time they visit a shop? Yes, odd indeed. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, how expertly you slipped that into the conversation. You're a real salesman. Oh, I'm glad you agree. Detective stories can be great works of literature too, my dear fellow. Okay. Thanks for that. Now I want to try something. I just kind of thought of it. I want to see if I can go back to... I can go back to Sholmes' suite. Obviously, Iris isn't here anymore. Oh. She's right here! Oh, that's cool. Iris is hard at work at her desk. Look, hard at work at her desk. She's tapping away on a typewriter so fast her fingers are a blur. Sorry, I can't stop. I have to meet the deadline for the next issue. Oh, I see. You must be very busy then. Don't disturb her, Mr. Naruhodo. I will kill you. I won't. So you can lower your arms now, please. Okay, then she might not have anything to say about this then. Oh. Ah, that's my blackboard where I note down ideas. Black Peter? What does that mean? Oh, how intriguing. It must be the title of Iris's latest work. Oh my, I wonder what fantastic tale awaits us. Is it supposed to be like Black Pewter or something? Pseudo-san looks like an angel, but I bet she's dreaming of the most grisly crime you could imagine. It's a case that Hurley solved just recently. A black cat called Peter went missing in the neighborhood. Hurley tracked it down at the fishmonger's in the end. Well, I can't wait for the story to be published. I will wait with bated breath. Okay, that might have been it. That might have been the event I needed to wait for. That's the reason I came here. Hang on, is there something? Oh, the lamp. Or the top here is different. What on earth is that big black lump over there? Ah, that's a typewriter. It's a machine that allows you to write on paper without needing a pen. I feel like we did read this already. And wizardly quickly too. Oh, that sounds like it could be very useful for someone like me with terrible handwriting. Wait, Iris, are all the stories from the adventures of Herlock Sholmes? Yes, everyone typed on this trusty machine. Oh, my goodness! How wonderful! Suzusan looks like she's been shown into the Tokyo Imperial Palace Gardens. She is having the time of her life. Okay. Sorry if it's a little jarring, like I just decided to leave and investigate here, but while we're here... Okay, yeah, there's new dialogue for the violin. And then I think we're good, then we'll leave. I've seen pictures of Western musical instruments like this. It's called a violin, isn't it? Of course it is. Mr. Sholmes is renowned for his violin playing. Oh, really? That's right. I just sort of slipped that in. You did what, Iris? I didn't really give it a lot of thought, and I just started adding it into the stories. Oh, don't tell me. Yes, Mr. Sholmes' exceptional violin playing has been mentioned a number of times. Are we gonna find out that that's a fabrication? But the truth is, Hurley had barely touched a violin in his life up to that point. Oh. My dreams. My hopes, my dreams are crushed. Of course, people started asking him to play for them after my stories were published, and he wasn't able to tell them that he didn't know how. What did he do? He went straight to the pawn shop and bought himself a very nice violin. And then he practiced until his fingers very nearly dropped off. Must be why he's so highly strung. Haha, jokes. Before I knew it, he'd become rather good. The greatness of the great detective really shone with that experience, I think. It was a great deception, that's for sure. Okay, so in the end, he has become adept at the violin. I thought you were gonna say, like, nah, he doesn't play at all. Okay, I think we're good. I'm glad I came back, though. Back to Mr. Natsume's room, where we can properly talk to... we can properly talk to Sholmes himself now, so let's go. Let's talk about the room first. This room is thoroughly suffocating for the soul, my dear fellow. I assure you, any man whose lot is to dwell in a place like this will stab somebody sooner or later. Not Mr. Natsume. Mr. Natsume has stabbed no one. Ah, but sooner or later, as I said. Just you watch, it's gonna happen. I don't believe that's the issue here. About this dark little room, Mr. Sholmes. Why is there no longer a window? Do you have any idea? No window? Well, I mean, I can clearly see that there is a window of sorts. But it's been completely blocked with bricks. Oh, dear me, I didn't notice that. Ah, I see. The answer to that question is quite simple. Window tax. Window tax? What is that? Surely, not a tax on windows. Precisely that. Oh my goodness. This place sucks. Until relatively recently, a tax was levied on households in this country by the number of their windows. Those of lesser means, having inherited a sizable and costly family home perhaps, rapidly closed windows up. While the rich opened windows here, there, and everywhere. In an effort to curry favor with those in power by furnishing them with large sums of tax money. Okay. How awful and unjust, forcing people to live in rooms devoid of light. Okay, that would make sense that maybe Natsume did it himself then, because we already know he doesn't seem to have a lot of money. He's struggling to make ends meet as they are, you know. Indeed, disease was rife as a result. So, some 40 years ago, or thereabouts, the window tax was abolished. Oh. Oh, okay, I see. So, these are remnants from back then. But its legacy remains, as you can see. Its squalid lodgings, such as these, for example. I suppose Mr. Natsume's stipend for living here in London isn't very generous, perhaps. It would appear so. I've done a little digging and discovered that these lodgings were offered at an extraordinarily low price. I can imagine. Because the room is so awful, I should think. Apparently Mr. Natsume only moved in here about 1 week ago. Yes, that's correct. However, I don't believe the low rent is explained by the shabby nature of the accommodation. Oh? Still, that is of little relevance here. A matter not worthy of further attention. Are you sure? I'm curious now. I think it's definitely significant. The fact that we're spending so much time on these windows, I'm pretty sure there's definitely going to be some significance there, for sure. Okay, let's go up. Let's talk about Mr. Garadeb. Ah, tell me. Have you encountered the landlord of these lodgings? Yes, Mr. Garadeb, a retired military man. It was the first time I've ever met a soldier from the great British institution that is, the services. And it was the first time I'd ever met a maid from the great British institution that is, service. Teehee. Ah ha 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 ha. I didn't think it was that funny. I do apologize. As you may well be aware, many households in London employ a maid. Yes, I read as much in my Great Britain primer. And so, conversely, whether or not a household employs a maid has come to betoken the social standing on those dwelling therein. Betoken their social standing? Sorry? Don't use such fancy words. Put simply, my dear fellow, those who employ at least a single maid are considered middle class. Those who do not are beneath that. So it's kind of like not virtue signaling, but economic signaling. In the upper echelons of society, of course, households employ enough staff to constitute a large family. Goodness, how extraordinary. As you can appreciate, for those on the precarious boundary between the middle and lower classes, being able to afford just one maid is of the first importance. I had no idea. And it is for precisely that reason that I find great stimulation in the situation upstairs. You don't have a maid, do you? Sholmes? Specifically in the retired army veteran Mr. John Garadeb. Oh? Affable as he is, the fellow is hiding something. Yes, definitely. Whether or not it imposes on the circumstances of this case, I am as yet unable to ascertain. I'm thoroughly lost on what he means to say. Okay, let's talk about Mr. Natsume. We know this to be the lodgings of a Japanese foreign student by the name of Suzuki Natsume. It seems that you assisted in his arrest, Mr. Sholmes? For the stabbing of a young woman outside here on Briar Road? Natsume? Yes, I believe it was the name rather along those lines. But Mr. Natsume denies it. Was it really justifiable to arrest him on so little? Quite right. I'm sorry, Miss Susato, but I have not the slightest idea what you mean. What? Come again? I can't believe he was looking Susato squarely in the eye while feigning ignorance. I assure you I'm not merely feigning ignorance. That's what I meant to say. It would appear as if the pair of you are under some misapprehension. Oh? How? I sure have no recollection of accusing your stupid compatriot of the crime. But that doesn't make sense. Could it have been Iris? Or Gregson, the good detective of Scotland Yard, made the following request to me, and I quote verbatim. Oh, is he sending a message? We need you to ascertain the identity and whereabouts of a man seen fleeing the crime scene. Ah, a man seen fleeing? There were a number of books scattered on the pavement at the scene. From the book plates, I was quickly able to determine the bookshop from which they had been purchased. Ah, okay. So we were right, he was coming back from the bookshop. On speaking with the proprietor, I was immediately led to this address. Elementary, wouldn't you say? I believe there's a receipt around here somewhere from the establishment in question. I believe I showed it to you. So you don't think Mr. Natsume is the culprit then? That I could not tell you. But it was aggravating my faculties, hence why I returned here. However, this place is such a trove of fascinating books, I found myself quite lost in bibliophily. I'm like, how do you say that? I know the word, I just couldn't pronounce it. Like I know what a bibliophile is. Do not be deceived into believing that I am a man of leisure. No, no, no! Oh dear. That's exactly what we think. Okay, I believe that is all. Well, I believe I told you all I can now. Thank you, Mr. Sholmes. Ah, yes, Mr. Naruhodo. Was it not your intention to become a practitioner of law? He does remember that. You remember that, did you? Will you perhaps be offering your services in this very matter, I wonder? To the occupant of this room, Mr. Natsume, was it? That is the plan. I'm not sure. That's true, we haven't made a decision yet. Not sure? On what grounds? Well, I actually defended someone in court here only yesterday. Really? Well then, I congratulate you, sir, on an ambition realized. And so promptly, too. The thing is, it's really made me question things. Am I right to believe in my clients? To trust in their innocence? Yes. Trust. Mr. Sholmes? Mr. Natsume didn't do it, did he? Ah ha ha ha! Yes, he did. My dear fellow, I haven't the first idea. Oh, but I thought that's why you were here. Didn't you come back to investigate? Oh yes, that was indeed my initial intention. But there are simply too many fascinating books here. I couldn't possibly ignore them. Is that really the reason? Oh, I see. Nevertheless, there are two facts I can state quite unequivocally. The man who fled the scene of the crime 2 days ago was the Japanese occupant of this room, and there are witnesses who swear to having seen the same man commit the crime. That is all I can say. And one more thing. Oh? What is it, Mr. Sholmes? Tell us! Please. I cannot say with any certainty whether or not it is of any relevance to this case, but I am quite sure that the retired army man who owns this property is hiding something. Mr. Garadev is? Mr. Sholmes said as much before, actually, didn't he? Yeah, his maid, too. Anyway, at present, that is really all that plays on my mind in relation to this case. Mr. Naruhodo, it sounded for a moment, I guess we still could, that we're gonna jump into one of those, whatchamacallits, those deduction spectaculars, extravaganzas, whatever. As yet, our investigations have uncovered nothing that could help establish Mr. Natsume's innocence. No, you're right. Perhaps it's time we probe a little deeper into Mr. Garadev's secret. Just remember, I cannot be sure whether the landlord's secret will prove to be of relevance or not. But I wish you every success, of course, Mr. Naruhodo. Fare thee well. A busy man indeed. He's gone back to his book in the corner of the room. Oh, okay, he's still here. Is he actually there? Like, can we actually... I just want to see if we can actually see him. Excuse me, Mr. Sholmes? Yes, so true. To be or not to be? That is indeed the question, Mr. Naruhodo. Let's ponder that for a moment. I'll leave you to it. To be or not to be brushed off? That is the question. And the answer is all too clear. Let's leave Mr. Sholmes in peace, shall we? Okay. He's to, where'd the kitty go? Aww. That's the second cat we've had in this game. I wonder if he'll actually play a relevant starring role. Oh. He's gone. 19th of February, Mr. Garadeb's room. Oh, never mind. Oh, you pagan? Tell me, was the detective chap, I forget his name, still hard at work down there? Mr. Sholmes? Oh, yes. Rings a vague bell. All the detective business isn't really my thing, I'm afraid. Well, Mr. Sholmes is in his element down there. Jolly good show. Another cup of tea, if you please, Joan. And please don't spill it on me. Now then, why don't you tell me what— Ah, I knew it! Knew that was gonna happen, woman. For the umpteenth time, woman, will you watch what you're bloody well doing? I shall be serving dinner shortly, sir. Huh. Yes, of course. Frightfully rude of me, but I'm afraid I shall have to ask you to take your leave if you'd be so kind. Okay, we just got here. Oh yes, of course. We are deeply grateful for your assistance. Not at all, not at all. Don't get much chance to talk with young foreigners like yourselves. It's been a pleasure. Best of luck and all that. Perhaps you could see yourselves out. Yes, will do. According to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Garadeb is hiding something. And since no other avenues of investigation seem open to us at the moment, perhaps we should do some digging. But he literally told us to leave. Oh, Jesus. Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing? What's he doing over there? Mr. Sholmes! Aha! We meet again, my dear fellows! What has it been, like 1 minute? Good gracious, when did you sneak in here? Relax, Sholmes, sir. At your service. Whatever were you doing over by the window? I'm given to watching the evening sky as the sun sets, madam. Yet sadly, cheerful as the room downstairs undoubtedly is, it lacks an aperture for such observation. So I took the liberty of borrowing a small corner of space by the window up here. Huh. Well, keeping an eye to one's windows at dusk is the prudent thing to do in London, I'm gathering. And one other thing, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, me? I thought perhaps you might be in need of a certain great detective's great mind. Oh, I think we might be doing it now. Wait, he's not talking about, is he? I didn't expect to be going through that again so soon. Yep, I think we're doing it. Do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? There is a mighty secret in this modest room. My eyes see even the most trivial of trifles. I take it you're prepared, Mr. Naruhodo? I think so. Here's just time enough for one of my greatly admired great deductions. Let us conclude the matter before dark. Okay. Mr. Garadeb, though it would seem you are a military man of considerable distinguished service, your standing as a landlord is most certainly not what one might call first-rate. I'm afraid, sir, that is all too clear to me. There are two conclusions I have been able to draw by careful observation of your living arrangements. I beg your pardon? The first is that even as we speak, you are concealing the presence of a ferocious beast in your care. And the second is that as a result of the beast's violent rampage, you have lost something very dear to you. Mr. Naruhodo, look! We caught him off guard. The old man's broken out in a cold sweat. Unbelievably, it seems Mr. Sholmes' conclusions are both spot on. How? How could you possibly? How could I possibly know, you mean to inquire? The answer couldn't be simpler, sir. For in the dense jungle of logic and reasoning, I am the king of beasts. Ah! Oh wait, that was Garadeb. Ah! and in only too well that wild beasts are not easily tamed. So, shall we begin? Once again, Sherlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Let's do it. Yay, we haven't done one of these in ages. The game is afoot. Topic 1. Nature of the beast. It surely shouldn't take a great detective to see. I wonder if the beast has anything to do with the lion up there. That would actually make sense. That a fearsome beast has been on the rampage of late within these four walls. Thus we are faced with the question... Wait, why am I talking like him? Thus we are faced with the question, what form might this beast take? Okay, I have an idea then. So obviously Sherlock Sholmes thinks that a beast made all that mess, but right now Natsume is looking up. It looks like he's looking up at the lion. So maybe the reason he was taken aback when he said something about a fearsome beast is maybe he's hiding something in there. Maybe it's like hollow. Or maybe there's some kind of secret involved with it. Okay, I read that. Ah, for a man with a military breeding, your eyes are uncommonly candid. Your furtive glance, Mr. Garrett, leads us directly to the answer. Oh. The true nature of the beast that has run rampant here is revealed by that lion statue. Yes, though an army man, you appear unimposing at best. A fact that has fueled your admiration for the mighty lion, the king of beasts. What is this piffle, I ask you? In the end, your admiration became so great, in fact, that you have been a living, breathing specimen shipped from India, which you tried to keep in this very house. What? Oh, God. Did he just have like a slap mark on the side of his face? Yes, living with such a wild beast proved more difficult than you would have imagined. The chilling traces of a wild rampage are still very much in evidence. Well, I'm a little bit confused by his deduction here. Is he implying that there's a real lion in here? Is he saying that somehow that little lion did that? Yes, as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. Okay, yeah. He thinks that there's a lion around here somewhere. Where could this angry creature have disappeared to, madam? Me? I pray do not consider me unchivalrous, but it is plain to me that with one glance in your direction, it is... Oh, what's that? Your dress pocket gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts. For protruding from it is a handbill advertising a circus show. Ah! Yes, you sought to dispose of this terrifying lion, Mr. Garrett. At Batty's Circus. How Batty? A traveling show currently sojourning in a nearby park. I have observed the tents. You sold the savage lion, sir, to the circus troupe. I most certainly did not. I believe I have made my point. The fearsome beast which ran amok in this room was an Indian lion. And a simple visit to the circus now will reveal the lion prancing jubilantly through a ring of fire. A rampaging Asiatic lion. Aftermath? Okay. His deductions are still crap. Now, Mr. Garrett, it's a bit of a stretch, Sholmes. It is plainly clear that you still have deep feelings for this formidable beast. Indeed, in that blithe pose, the distress this loss has caused you is veritably tangible. He's like, what are you talking about? Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders, the pain you feel being revealed by that supporting arm. Amid fits of tears, you let your beloved beast go. The strain of losing something so dear to you is clearly visible in your visage. Nonsense, man, I simply... But what? We must now ask ourselves is the true cause of this pain. And we need only follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer. Is it that picture over there? Oh, some notes. Yes, it is this pile of bills that have given rise to the pain you suffer. Every envelope contains another demand for payment. Oh! For cartloads of meat, potatoes, wheat, and tea. Indeed, feeding your beloved has had a devastating impact on the financial circumstances of your household. And so he had no choice but to let it go. Yes, well, Now, in a final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last unimaginable attack. Unimaginable? Let's hear it. Oh, I didn't even see that. Oh, a candle burnt the carpet. I saw the candle on the floor, I didn't realize it was burnt there. Oh, maybe we're gonna finally find out what's behind that curtain, though. The aftermath of which can be clearly seen by observing the carpet over there. A very expensive woolen carpet, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, dearie me. What could have caused such a destructive outburst? Her clumsiness, probably. This time, madam, I'm afraid it is you who has inadvertently revealed the truth to me. Your wandering eye settled upon the answer very neatly indeed. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the Tower of Cakes. I love cake, gimme. There is no creature more dangerous on this earth than a beast with an unsatiated appetite. Was it or was it not once said by a certain noble woman, if they have no bread, let them eat cake? I believe that's the expression, yes. Food is at the heart of all tragedy, in fact. Whatever do you mean? Having tired of the taste of cake, the beast began to stalk its next prey. I'm sure I need not spell out the nature of this final act of destruction carried out by the beast. There is only one logical conclusion. Worked into a frenzy by hunger, the lion attacked and ate the carpet. The teeth marks in the carpet are a perfect match with those of a lion I once saw in India. Yeah, I already have my own deductions. Carpet gnawed on by the starving lion. I'm pretty sure it was burnt by the candle, but okay. Thus concludes Sherlock Sholmes' great deduction of this beastly puzzle. Worship me. Oh, you're gonna burn him? Ah! I just love this face. What is the matter with you, Joan? You're pouring scalding hot tea all over me. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Garadeb. I'm afraid I didn't notice. My deductions can be startlingly sharp. It stands to reason that your cup runneth over. Indeed, my revelations can make people spill tears at times too. Oh. Mr. Sholmes. Sorry to butt in again, but could I make an observation? Why, certainly, Mr. Naruhodo. What is it? Again. Well, your deductions just now are terrible, as usual. Do you really think a lion could have fit inside a room of this size? Indeed, it is the only explanation for the facts. The terrifying truth all too often lies beyond the realms of common sense. But wouldn't it be an idea to consider what lies inside the realms of common sense as well? But if an uncaged lion had run amok in this very room, surely Mr. Garadeb and his maid would have been hurt, or worse. Ah, that's where you are stuck. No doubt the former military man held his own against the beast using that large cannon. I thought you said that they sold the lion to the circus. You're all over the place, Mr. Sholmes. And what about the food? Meat and potatoes are one thing. But I don't believe I've ever heard of a lion that drinks tea. Ah, my dear Miss Susato, it occurs to me with some regularity that irrespective of race and breeding, whenever anything lands on great British soil, they are infused with a highly appropriate taste for afternoon tea. Oh, what a glorious notion. Indeed. Well then, Mr. Naruhodo, it's your turn to shine again. I had a feeling that was coming. A slight massage, that's all Mr. Sholmes' deductions need. You can do it! Woohoo! And on that note, I think we will end things here. I kind of wish I had just, from the moment we got here, like before talking to Sholmes, I had stopped. Part of me thought, like, this might be a quickish scene. I'd forgotten that we might jump into one of these deductions. Or I guess I just didn't know that we would. I think it's getting kind of late into the recording. Hopefully I will have enough for the next one. Hopefully we don't do this little thing, this deduction spectacular thing, and then it ends, like, in 30 minutes. But if it does, it does. I don't want this video to go too long. And I figured before we get to the Ryunosuke part of it, that would be a good place to stop. So, like I said, kind of wish I stopped sooner, but c'est la vie. It was fun though. We got to explore some new areas. And, we got to see Mr. Natsume's lodge. We got to meet these two characters. They're fun. Again, that's what these games are known for, having lots of like these insanely quirky characters, and they're a pair. So yeah, I'm excited to do this deduction. Obviously, Sholmes is wrong. He that came out of nowhere. The thing about there's no evidence that a lion was here, and I already have some theories. Like the cannon probably made that mess with the shelves, possibly. I think that the lion on the shelf, maybe he's hiding something in there, like some kind of documents or something in there. Obviously, it looks like the carpet was burned by that candle that's like right next to the hole. Well, hopefully that'll we'll get to look behind that that barrier there and see what's behind there, because they hinted that something is behind there. So I have my own deductions, but we'll delve deeper into that next time. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. Go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, share the video, do all the things. I would greatly appreciate it, and it would really help the channel out. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care, and bye-bye.